What's up, D3 fam? Welcome to this episode of D3. In this episode, I'm going to give you some tips on how to stay cool at the Disneyland Resort during the hot summer months. First, let me just tell you how I came up with this idea. I just had a conversation with one of my friends earlier this week who just came back from the Disneyland Resort with his family. He was telling me how hot it was, and he had the small kids with him and the rest of his family. It was kind of hot. It was getting kind of uncomfortable. And they didn't know which attractions to do at the time, where to go to stay cool and things like that. And ended up having a really tough time at the park. So I thought this would be a good idea to just bring awareness to, the different things you can do at the Disneyland Resort to help you stay cool when it gets crazy hot during the summer months or during the weekend or just a hot day period. So here we go. Hey folks, the first tip I think is probably the most important tip of them all is to stay hydrated. Remember to drink your water, folks. It's a hot day out there and it's very important to drink your water and just stay cool. Remember, you could always bring bottled water with you into the park, and you could put it in your backpack and think something like that. Or if you had a quick service restaurant, you could ask one of the cast members if they could give you a cup of water. They're free, or you give you a cup of ice as well too. So remember, just ask the cast member nicely at the quick service restaurant to give you a nice cup of water to stay cool. So the first tip is drink your water and stay hydrated. The next few tips are actually two indoor Disneyland attractions on Main Street that people often forget about that help you stay cool on a hot summer day. These attractions are the Great Opera House and the Main Street Cinema. Inside the Great Opera House, you have two very cool attractions. The first attraction is the Disney Story, which tells you the story behind the making of Disneyland. It has video footage from 1955, the first attractions in the park. Also a bunch of dioramas of certain attractions like the castle, and they also have the Jungle Cruise. That's another cool one they have. The other attraction they have is the Great Moments of Mr. Lincoln. It's very cool and educational. It tells you history about President Lincoln and things like that. And it has a cool animatronic of Abraham Lincoln. It has does a couple of speeches and everything, things like that. It's a very cool show to watch. It's 15 minutes long, and it's a nice theater, with air conditioning and everything. So those cool attractions in the great Opera House is the Great Moments of Mr. Lincoln and the Disneyland Story. The other indoor attraction I mentioned before was the Main Street Cinema. Inside the Main Street Cinema, you can watch the very first Mickey Mouse cartoon, Steamboat Willie, as well as 5 other short animated Disney cartoons. So it's pretty cool to watch. You see the very first Mickey Mouse cartoon and things like that, and you can just stay here in the air conditioned theater as long as you want. Watch them as long as you want. You can watch them all day if you want to stay cool. So the next, like I said before, the Main Street Cinema is another good place to stay cool on a hot day. Another tip to stay cool while you're at Disneyland is actually over in Tomorrowland at the Star Wars Launch Bay. Inside the Star Wars Launch Bay is a bunch of cool Star Wars exhibits they have there. You have the spaceships from the movie and things like that, and you have a lot of character interactions. You can have a meet and greet session with Darth Vader, Chewbacca, and other Star Wars characters. Boba Fett, and some other characters too as well. You also have a lot of other cool games you can play inside, inside of the Star Wars Launch Bay as well. And most important of all, I forgot to mention, is air conditioned. So just sit around and just chill out for an hour or so, or however long you want to stay around there. Just get out of the hot heat and just relax. So again, another tip, like I said before, is over in Tomorrowland in the Star Wars Launch Bay. My next tip to stay cool at Disneyland is actually inside the California Adventure side, which is the Frozen show, which is inside of the Hyperion Theater, which is located, I think, on Hollywood Boulevard near the front of the park. So the Frozen show is based off the Frozen movie, of course. I think it's a good 30-minute show. Like I said, it's inside of a nice air-conditioned theater. Good acting and things like that. You can rest your feet and recoup, especially if you've been waiting in line all day in hot lines, waiting on different rides and things like that. So a nice way to cool off. So again, my next tip is, like I said, inside the California Adventure, is watching the Frozen show in a Hyperion Theater. My next tip for you to stay cool while you're at the Disneyland Resort is actually also at the California Adventure. It's right down the street from the Hyperion Theater where the Frozen show is at. It's actually inside the animation building. Inside the animation building, you can find a bunch of cool things you can do. You can go watch the Talk with Crush show. Crush from the Finding Nemo movie, the turtle. Also, another cool thing you could do is you could actually go and draw different characters from different Disney characters. You could go in and sit down and draw like they have like cast member. You sit in this nice giant theater. You could draw like different characters like Mickey Mouse. It's like a different character every hour. I think Goofy's 1 hour, Mickey's another hour, Donald and the rest of the gang. So it's a very cool experience. You can draw your favorite Disney character. Learn some stuff. You can see how great you are at drawing or how terrible you are at drawing. So it's really cool. They have some other things. I think they have some stuff dedicated towards Beauty and the Beast in the animation building. So, like I said, another place to stay cool while you're at the California Adventure site is inside the animation building, which is also on, I think, Hollywood Boulevard, which is right down the street from the Hyperion Theater where the Frozen show is at. Next to the Stay Cool at the Disneyland Resort is also on the California Adventure side, and it's not going to be along for not too much longer. It's actually over in the Bugs Land. It's the sprinklers over in the Bugs Land. I think it's over by which attraction it is, but it's like some giant sprinklers you can run around and jump around in. You and your kids, if you want to play in and just get soaking wet and just stay cool off like that. It's only going to be around till I think September 3rd when the entire Bugs Land section of the park closes, and for them when they start to make way for the new Marvel Land. So unfortunately, that's going to go away. So like I said again, lastly, next to last is if you want to stay cool over at the California Adventure side, is over in the Bugs Land and playing the little giant sprinklers. My final tips to stay cool while you're at the Disneyland Resort are either A, get on Splash Mountain at Disneyland, or B, get on a Grizzly River Run while you're at California Adventure. Now, if you want to get on these two attractions, I tell you repeatedly, like you see in my other videos, make sure you get on, take advantage of the single rider lines on these two attractions, because on a hot summer day, these attractions the lines get very long. The lines can be like an hour and a half to 2 hours long. So if you use a single rider, your wait time will probably only be like 15 minutes. So like I said, lastly, if you want to stay cool at Disneyland, you want to get wet on some of the rides, the best rides you get wet on are Splash Mountain at Disneyland and Grizzly River Run over at California Adventure. Well, there you have it, folks. Those are my tips on how to stay cool at the Disneyland Resort. Thanks again for watching. As usual, feel free to comment below, leave your comments, and also you feel free to, if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to this channel if you like what you see. And also follow me at Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram at Damien Does Disney. Thanks again for watching, folks. See you next time.